a lot of the changes are flowing down from the top, right? So you've got the Secretary of Health and Human Services was a very particular view of healthcare in the United States. You've got the MAHA Commission, which he chairs, and they just put out a report, I think last week, that really kind of gave a very good perspective of the types of things that they are focused on. And I think we're going to see changes especially related to chronic drug use, like certain drugs that are used for chronic disease. Those are going to be priorities. Other areas that they have focused on for priorities are rare diseases. Interestingly, the device center is not as front and center as drugs and food have been in terms of FDA policy right now. And so the biggest changes we're seeing in terms of FDA policy are around things like vaccines, rare disease approvals, kind of helping to think about whether, how many randomized clinical studies do you need for a rare disease product, if any. We've heard the FDA commissioner say that maybe in some cases it's impossible to have a full-blown clinical trial for, a disease where there's so few patients. So things like that are definitely shifting. And so I think the big uncertainty right now for companies is is their reviewer still there? Right? Do they have somebody to call? And B, whether the agency, because of the changes in personnel, is going to shift more towards kind of a transactional posture instead of being able to kind of give feedback and handhold a little bit. FDA used to be very interactive, especially for products that are more innovative, that they've never seen before. That's the hardest thing to get through FDA, are the things that FDA has never seen before. I think under the circumstances right now, it may be that you're going to have to do a couple of rounds with the agency instead of a clock stop or a lot of interaction and getting it through the first try. I think that's going to be the biggest change. We're not seeing it yet because the reorg is still kind of underway, and the ultimate changes in leadership at a lot of the centers are kind of trickling down. But I think in 6 months, we will have a really good understanding of exactly how we have to change our strategy in terms of getting things through the agency.